Hi guys! Jake and MJ back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Beast Morphers.
I didn't have my sunglasses on.
Oh, I'm sorry about
That's
that.
okay, babe. I was busy giving someone time out.
It's...
Immediately after they were told no cursing, they decided to curse.
Well, that was a mistake.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry about, starting a little bit late. For whatever reason,
we had some difficulty getting the stream going, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not entirely the stream's fault. It's also partially my fault. I got tied up at work.
No, it's
so we didn't get a chance to start even trying to stream.
Well, here's the issue, and this is really the issue. With the Chromecast connection, my computer will randomly lose track of the Chromecast's existence. So I can't cast from my computer until like 5 minutes before we start.
Oh, so you couldn't have gotten this set up right?
So I had to restart. I had to restart my browser in order to get it to recognize that the thing existed.
The mail sorter in there.
There
you can slide over.
Okay, that's all right. So yes, sorry for the minute delay of like a minute or two. A minute or two.
Just fake spoilers. That's right, Olivia.
There we go.
Fake spoilers only.
I'm gonna grab.
Are you gonna grab Ravi?
I'll grab Ravi for this. Here we go. Got my Lightning Collection Ravi here. You guys can see.
Joseph also has his figures, but he's in timeout right now. It lasts 300 seconds.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But yes, it's been a little bit of a rough week. I know that the live reactions for Ryu Soldier were late this week. You
had to compile twice, upload twice, process twice.
I just had an error at every stage.
Yeah.
It just never stopped. And
plus, we also didn't even make it until Wednesday because Tuesday night was no good.
We were both not well this week.
Yeah, Jake's back's still out and I'm still on antibiotics.
Yeah, so not great. Not a great week. And then I was late getting home, because I had to tend to stuff with my car on 2 different days.
And my brain has just been like, bleep. I've done nothing but go to work, go home, go to sleep, go to work, go home, go to sleep. Oh, and make videos!
Yep. And I've just been in...
And there's other things I need to be doing.
Considerable pain, so that's also not great.
Yeah, there's somebody who's probably been trying to get a hold of me by phone. I'm sorry. I need to make the call back, but I can never seem to make the call back because my brain won't do it.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, which you sometimes does, I'm sorry.
I've been like sleeping on the floor to get my back in alignment.
Yeah, he has. I've been alone in the bed.
But
here we are.
Here we are for some...
Greetings to all of you. Greetings to Scott, Chris, Olivia, Sean, and Mr. Alman, and Joseph in timeout.
And as those of you who saw the Ryu Soldier live reactions, which finally came out last night.
Yes.
We have now checked out the trailers for Cure Major. So MJ is now aware of Cure Major's existence.
Pen, apple, pen.
And that pineapple pen guy is somehow going to be the mentor. We haven't had a chance to talk about it since then, really.
No, because again, like I said, I've been doing nothing but getting up, go to work, go home, get up, go to work, go home.
But we are pretty heavily leaning...
I haven't had time to have a discussion with my husband.
Yeah. But we are pretty heavily leaning against Sentai live reactions for the moment, continuing past the finale of Ryu Soldier.
Just joined us.
Cool. Welcome. So in all likelihood, next week's live reactions to the finale of Ryu Soldier will probably be our last Sentai live reactions
for a while.
For at least, I would say, a couple months. Until...
Like
I would say at least until...
We did put the possibility of doing it like during Ranger hiatus or something to catch up later, but right now we need to not do that for a while.
Yeah, this would be...
overbooked.
This would be after Beast Morphers goes back on break.
Oh, I would love fake Cure Major spoilers. Olivia's doing fake spoilers again.
That's fun.
Taking requests, Cure Major or Hexagon or Thunderstorm.
Nice. I will admit that that at the very least, Cure Major does look very sparkly, which is nice.
It has a nice aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I also feel like they're leaning a little heavy on the holotape.
Oh, with the shiny
They're going
things,
for
things.
They say it's supposed to be like gems or whatever, but it really does come off as holotape.
Okay. I'm not that familiar with that.
A holotape it's like a hologram shimmering tape.
Okay.
That is used in arts and crafts.
Nice.
It looks more like holotape than crystals.
Fair enough. All right.
It has no transparency. It's just reflective.
So and then as far as any other Power Ranger things going on this week, I know there was the recent announcement of the next Power Rangers graphic novel, which is going to be exciting. Sins of the Future.
Oh yes,
Yep.
that one that you mentioned that's going to have Jen in it.
Yep, Jen and Wes working through their very long distance relationship across time. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that that Frax is on the cover. I didn't notice that at first. So I'm curious how that's going to tie in. I still need to watch the finale. We need to watch the finale of like that, Gravity Falls, and Fringe. Those are like 3 different shows that we've watched together.
The thing is with the Gravity Falls one, I keep delaying on it because I don't want Gravity Falls to be over.
I know. Also, we need to finish up the 2nd season of Westworld because 3rd season's coming out soon.
Do we even have show? We don't have Showtime anymore.
It's HBO.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, we can watch that.
Yeah. All right. So those are other shows that we need to catch up on.
Time Force.
But for now,
Go-Go's
it's time for. Oh yes, Go-Go will be ending after this arc. Once they reunite the timelines again, we don't know what might be coming after that. But yes, Go-Go Power Rangers comics will be ending in a few months as in April once Necessary Evil concludes. That's the current arc.
This is the chat.
Yeah. But all that being said, those are other shows.
Time to watch some Power Rangers.
Time for Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Episode 24.
Or Season 2, Episode 2.
Save our shores.
Ooh, are we going to save the turtles? Is everybody getting a hydro flask?
Oh, wow, I had the volume very high.
Oh, look, they're all bowing. That reminds me of the thing you said to your,
Yeah, I said I had to bow of Taekwondo tomorrow.
Because it still hurts to bow.
Hey.
He's become a karate teacher. That's his
Well, he's doing it proper now.
Her aunt has this huge company in Hook the Rope. I think it's called Collins something?
Could you mean Collins Industries?
That's a little.
CEO Regina Collins.
Hello, Regina.
Yeah.
Wow, you are buffery. Why are you so buffery?
That looks really bad. I'll bet you Roxy.
It's done being buffery, yay.
We gotta go help.
I feel kind of bad for, like, the people on the exercise equipment in the background as extras.
Yeah.
Like, how long do they have to keep bench pressing for?
This from shipping accident?
Wow.
This is crazy.
Hey, guys,
Hey, Roxy.
what are you doing here? We saw the spill on TV. We're here to help. That
Nice.
would be great. Come on down.
Well, you know what? It doesn't seem like Evil Corporation right now because the corporation immediately dispatched a bunch of their employees to clean up the beach.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Rox?
Okay, just busy. Aunt Regina put me in charge of the entire cleanup.
Aunt Regina. You couldn't see her face very clearly because we were getting the pixelation and buffery, but I've been looking forward to seeing.
Ben and Betty are not having a beach day. They think they're having a beach day, but they are definitely not having a beach day.
That's some interesting sunblock.
Sure is.
It's zinc oxide. That's the thing.
Just pass them up. Right.
Alright. What? Is it really?
It's not zinc oxide.
It's sticky, super sticky sunscreen?
I think they may have gotten the glue mixed up with their zinc oxide.
Philo? Why?
This isn't sunblock. It's glue.
Why?
Like I said.
Are you kidding me?
Well, once they got stuck, yeah.
I mean,
I assumed it was zinc, because zinc oxide sunscreen, it's the old sunscreen where if you ever, like, see, like, nerds in, like, 1970s movies
are they
and
going
their
to
nose
just
is all
collect
white?
garbage with their skin?
No.
Why would you-
Let's
no.
not Katamari beach clean, okay? They're gonna Katamari.
What is wrong with you? That is trash. What? Have they been eating the glue? I feel like they've been eating.
Oh, it is a sea
There is a sea
turtle!
turtle!
Oh, Power Rangers currently pulling for the Visco Girl demographic.
Wow, our internet is really awful today. Oh, sea turtle.
Although the Visco Girl demographic is definitely who they're going after here with the environmental sea turtle thing.
Sea turtle be
You
okay.
should know that Jake's favorite animal
I really like turtles.
is the sea turtle.
Or I joined Great Battle Force.
You know that kid from the meme, This Is I Like Turtles? That's secretly Jake.
Not literally, but you get it.
Hold on.
We have...
This trash spill is huge.
It won't just be that turtle. The species of breed dozens of species.
Oh no.
Oh my god, I can't follow things because it keeps buffering. What is wrong with you, Philo?
I promise. Alright, let's go.
I'm not having a problem.
Oh. Hello.
You should be careful. That body, it isn't good for you. It's corrupting your virus.
Ooh.
Somehow run out of Morph-X. You might born in front of the Rangers. Don't question my plans, Russell. Once the Rangers found our base in the cyber dimension,
Hey, Vox.
necessary.
Pineapple Pen guy?
It's the key to everything.
Oh, Jake, are you a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan then?
Yes.
Curse these darn crystals.
Alright, I'm going to... When this hits a commercial, I'm going to pop over to the other room to see if I can do anything to fix the issues we're seeing right now.
A bit of data from a pair of pesky teeth.
Hey, Devious!
Do it.
I wasn't paying attention, I was paying attention to the TV. There we go. Okay. Devious and Dustin. Hi, guys. And
It's
apparently...
interesting that the cyberverse kind of crystallized.
yes, lots of Elsa jokes. In the chat.
Ooh, I like this one. Trappertron.
Oh no, is he gonna go after the sea creatures?
I don't know, he
All
might.
these animals came from the trash.
Remember, he was made from a bird cage
Some of
in
it's
the
just
original.
but how am I so
Thanks for helping, Dr. Walsh. That's why we're here.
This was
This way, please.
Dr.
We'll do
Walsh.
everything we can until their environment is cleaned up. But
I wonder if he's related to the Dr. Walsh that helped out Tommy when he was in
we're
his
gonna need
coma.
money for food and medicine.
I'm sure that won't be a problem. My aunt put me in charge of taking care of everything.
Oh no.
I'll just let
This
him
is
know
the
about
part where she
animals.
finds out that her aunt is
I'll
not
come with
willing
you.
to pay for this.
Same. Thanks.
The Marine Center
No questions about a robot.
medical care is expensive.
Do you...
Industries will cover it,
The
right?
buffering is making it awful, but do you recognize her?
Yes, but it's our...
Roxy, a bunch of salty sea creatures is not our problem.
Miss at the rescue center, and I
You just said they were making a bunch of
trash
jokes in
the
there.
ocean. These animals are in trouble.
Who were they making jokes about?
We don't help them. Being a good business is like being a good citizen.
Elsa?
You have to take responsibility for your mistakes.
That is
Those animals could have already been
not
sick.
Idina Menzel.
No.
We can't take care of every
Not that
single
Elsa.
ocean of it.
That's Dino Thunder Elsa?
Dino Thunder Elsa!
She's not going to think about it.
Sorry, I thought the Elsa jokes were snow jokes about the crystals.
She just doesn't believe that it's her responsibility. And there's no time to convince her. I'll be right back. I just have something that I need to take care of.
Oh, she is gonna get herself fired.
Or something, I don't know.
Hello, Dr. Walsh? Hi, I'm calling from Collins Industries. I've got some good news for you.
What is she gonna do?
We'll pay for the animal care.
Like I said, she's getting herself
That's
fired.
right. Everything. Do whatever it takes.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
She just put the company on the hook for it.
Yeah.
She's not keeping her job.
This is reminding me very much of a prior
Don't worry about your aunt.
interaction with a major corporation with the name Collins
Are you
involved.
kidding me?
Whoop. Cage.
Oh no, it's Blaze and Roxy specifically.
Yeah. Ah.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed she's wearing a purple shirt and her cell phone is purple.
Yeah. Rangers. Wow. Wow. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go. Go. It's morphin' time. For justice we fight. With beast morphin' might. Together we rise.
It's a different side with a picture. That's why it's Crystal Lake.
Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Power Rangers, beast morphers.
So,
Alright,
you're gonna fix
you
the
chat
thing.
with the chat for a minute.
I'll
I'm
chat
gonna
the
see
chat
if I
while
can.
Jake tries to troubleshoot the stream.
I don't know what's going on over there.
Calm before the storm, cry before the fall. Good luck, my friends. This is the beginning of the end. I do not know this song. I've never heard it before. I'm wondering if it's from Frozen 2, which I haven't seen yet. But I did see Parasite. That was good.
Don't miss the brand new series, Tyler Perry's Young Dylan. Tonight at 8:30 after a brand new Henry Danger.
Young Dylan, eh? Time Force reference? Forgot to mention this is in action, but the Minosaur from episode 38 is a
SpongeBob.
What was that?
Charybdis Minosaur, and episode 42 is the Phantom Minosaur.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yes, I remember us looking those up.
Apparently we failed to mention them.
Yeah, I must have looked them up after the fact.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, the SpongeBob musical.
Now on tour of North America.
Wow, this has been really glitchy, and I don't know why.
Our internet is not great tonight.
I don't know what's wrong with our internet tonight. Hopefully, you guys aren't getting too bad of a buffer on
A
yours.
couple of people have reported lagging.
Actually, I realized I never remembered to
Oh, that could be
plug
true.
this in.
By the way, is your desktop wired in, or is that running on wireless?
That's running on the wireless. Because that's the only way to run it.
Fair enough. Nickelodeon Slime Fest.
Oh, hey, Mom.
Problem solved.
Hey, look, it's a Red Baron pizza.
Oh,
I just hit optimize.
And we got it.
Beautifully.
Red Baron.
That seems
Fly solo.
maybe a little.
The audio goes a little bit now and then, but other than that, yeah, we do seem to be doing better.
Okay, that's a little better. Yeah, oddly enough, there's an optimize option on Chromecast that,
Only shows up sometimes.
yeah, it's one of those things where I can't access it. It'll pop up and say, do you want to optimize? And I'll be like, yes. But I can't find it in any menu. It's just a
So
pop-up
there's
that
the
happens
loud
sometimes.
house and there's the big house.
Experience a more
The
authentic
big house?
Casa Grande.
True friendship
Oh, yes.
that only like lady.
But yeah, I'm definitely frustrated by Philo, but I will admit that it is at least.
Chris died of laughing while watching the clip of Rhea Soul Brown.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was very silly. But yeah, Philo thus far has been not great. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been no worse than Spectrum for considerably less of the price.
Yeah, it's like it has issues similar to Spectrum,
But it costs a whole lot less.
but it's like a fifth of the price. So
Also, what?
um,
Are they trying to make Honey Bunches of Oats into trap music?
it's really hard to tell if that's what they're doing or if we're just getting really staggered
When you have to say
audio, and it just sounds like trap music as a
Well, they're
result.
also dressed like trap dancers.
Oh, okay. But yes, I do kind of love that we have the whole Collins Industries thing. People are connecting that to Time Force. And I will admit that Roxy's actions so far are very similar
Is this the new...
to, it's
It is!
the new Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yes. But,
Is that Adam?
That's Adam Conover, yeah.
Adam Conover is the host of the new...
Oh no, this is called The Crystal Maze. No, that's different. That's a different show. I didn't think that he was part of Legends of the Hidden
Okay,
Temple.
well, I still like that Crystal Maze concept.
Nice. But the point that I was making before was that this Collins Industries thing does connect well to Time Force and what Roxy is doing right now.
Oh,
It connects very well to what Wes pulled on his dad back in the sixth episode. Back in the 6th episode of Time Force.
I wonder if they're related.
I mean, Roxy does have those freckles. Aaron Cahill's got some freckles.
Were you saying this would take place after?
This would have to take place after the season of Time Force. Yes.
Oh, right.
Time Force was 2001. And Roxy is about 18, I would say. And that was about 18 years ago. Oh no. Scrazzle doing a little
Oh, he's
scan.
going to scan them, so maybe they're not going to get captured. He's just going to use their data for his new monsters.
Maybe. Let's see what they do. Oh, is this... Yes, I like
Hey,
this
isn't
sequence.
this some of the footage that you used for...
This is footage I used for Grid Defense. Like I said, I like this
Grid
fight.
Defense. Grid Defense Department? Looks like GB.
It's 2Ds.
Looks like a GB.
Actually, that's what this is. But one thing that was a great sequence from this episode of the source footage was actually the Instamorphs, if I recall correctly for this episode, was one long shot. There we go. Enough for that.
I think Alvin checked the math and says it's a perfect fit for the theory with Roxy.
Yeah. Because
this guy just loves his cages.
Basically, people, I believe, are theorizing that Roxy may have inherited her freckles from her mom.
Yes.
Yes.
And also her
last
desire
name
to be a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Though she did not, in fact, become one.
And yeah, with that, if her last name is actually Collins, like Collins Industries, then there's a fair, reasonable credence for that theory.
Robotron is Robo-Gone.
I like the look on Roxy's face as like
Robbie pumps his muscles.
she's like
Baby.
wow.
I love that Popeye look, where your muscles are completely disjointed from the rest of your body.
Using their DNA, huh?
Oh yeah, that looks like they're building replacements.
Yep. Whew. There we go. Baddies are back.
And there's gonna be trouble. Now he's yellow and she's purple.
Yep.
And these ones are going to be more faithful than the last ones.
The Blue Ranger joined me.
You're cobbled together from your old memories.
I like the highlights.
And some of the old scrazzle razzmatazz.
He grabbed some of their memories out of them. They do remember what they did.
Yeah.
So they've been revived in personality as well.
Which is great. This is going to be interesting, having the two different versions of Blaze and Roxy
Yeah,
throughout.
Roxy's about to get into some deep doo-doo.
Yeah.
Seemed pretty dead set against Peggy.
Well, she did the right thing.
No, she didn't. But we'll see how that plays out.
She did.
Oh, Alma didn't do the math. It's
Very
just
important.
reference.
I will speak to the person in charge right now.
That would be me.
Oh, Eve, she's getting Walsh in trouble.
Yes, I recognized from the news. I want to thank you for agreeing to pay to take care of these animals.
That's the thing, Doctor. I didn't agree to any such thing.
Well, someone from Collins Industries called.
I authorized the donation.
What? Why did you do that?
Because what Zoe said earlier is true. We each need to take responsibility for our mistakes.
Our trash spill injured these poor animals. Now, Roxy, you can't be sure of that.
I mean,
Fish and turtles, they get sick every day.
I mean,
It's no one's fault.
nah.
We found one more sinker by the trash spill. It's tangled plastic. Oh no. He seems really sick.
He probably tried to eat some trash, or he might have got caught swimming through.
Is she gonna change her mind? She sees the sad sea turtle.
Wouldn't you? It's a turtle.
I wouldn't have made her call in the first place.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't look in the eyes of a sea turtle and not feel emotions.
I am very tempted now to release High Sea Turtle.
Okay. Please, save the sky. Save all of them. Collins Industries will pay no matter what it takes.
I told you, nobody can withstand the sad eyes of a sea turtle.
We went on our honeymoon to Disney World, and Jake was so enamored of the sea turtle at the Living Seas in Epcot.
Thank you. Both of you.
No.
Who would have thought that trash could cause all those problems?
Anyone with half a brain.
That being said, self-justification is, I believe, a prerequisite for any form of CEO position. If you can't justify some form of atrocities, then
You won't make a very good CEO.
you can't be expected to maintain that profit margin.
In the arms of the angels. Good one, Cody.
I destroyed you, Avatar.
Wrong again, Loverboy. That was the old Roxy.
This one's got purple highlights.
There's still much for us.
Oh, and he's got yellow highlights.
Yeah,
They're
he
kind of hard
does.
to see because his hair is already kind of
Blonde, but that's a full-on
dark blonde,
highlight.
light brown.
Yeah, and there we go, and we're back to commercial. So it's fun to see the new Blazing Roxy in here.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's all about this.
Tony's challenged by the dog next door. The nest is supposed
It's such a shame that we're having so many buffering issues with this episode, because there's so many there's so many interesting things going on.
We're putting a bit of a tax on our internet situation because we are simultaneously streaming in
Yeah,
and streaming out.
yeah.
This doesn't. Philo doesn't allow you to download Block offline, does it?
No, it barely allows you to actually record things. As far as I can tell, I have yet to be able to find an actual record feature. I think there used to be one, but I don't think there is one anymore.
Barbarian. It's a barbarian bear.
I think that Philo used to have a record feature, but instead it has a save feature now, which is not the
Not
same.
the same. It's like my Netflix app on my phone. I could take videos on the go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the nonsense that is Philo's DVR. It apparently has an unlimited DVR, you just can't actually record things while they're playing. Which, I don't know if that really makes it a DVR.
Is it really DVR or is it a streaming service masquerading as DVR?
I think it's just got unlimited on-demand storage.
Yeah.
Which is different from unlimited DVR. Because DVR implies that you are digitally recording it.
Pop-Tarts are nothing but sugar.
Yep.
And also, that actress is doing commercials now?
Very chic.
What was that? Yeah, Catherine Hahn?
PJs?
I guess so.
wearing pants.
I believe that's Catherine Hahn.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot her name, but I was like, Catherine Hahn's doing commercials now?
Yeah, she's got shows going on and whatnot, movies and things.
That's why I'm wondering what
Yeah.
she's doing in a commercial!
Well, now she's got name recognition, I guess. I don't know.
Because usually, if you're famous, you don't have to do commercials
You
unless
don't.
it's an endorsement, a celebrity endorsement, which that didn't seem like.
Fair enough.
She was playing two separate characters.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Check out the new Lego friend sets at Lego
Little Lego friends.
One of the sets has what look like
From the home of never-ending
Little rope
fairy lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
From as
That's
little as
adorable.
$11.99, you get never-ending stuff. Sauces and toppings, never-ending.
But,
Yeah, well, we may get never-ending sauces, never-ending breadsticks, but we don't get beef bolognese anymore, do we?
I'm sure it'll be back again at some point.
Olive Garden. Beef bolognese when?
I did like
Used to have beef bolognese. You don't have
we
beef
were down there
bolognese
the other day,
anymore.
and I did rather like those little fried penne stuff with cheese things. Those were no. That was I'm
trying
not.
to be healthy.
I'm not going to
Bolognese
pretend.
is healthy.
I'm not going to pretend that was healthy.
I had to
But it was pretty good.
mushroom ravioli instead. Ravioli portobello.
I want to be Captain Man. I will never be Captain Man.
It's right there.
Will one hero lose all hope?
I'm Henry Hart. Nice to
The final 4 episodes
So final 4 episodes
of Henry Danger.
of Henry Danger. We're right at the end now. Yeah, he's I guess he's trying to break out from being a sidekick at this point, which is fair. And we're
Getting
back.
older. Trash industry is a woman, and usually most environmental awareness episodes are usually male. Hey, equality works both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of times somebody will put that out there as an excuse for doing something stupid, like hitting a woman.
Yeah.
You shouldn't hit anyone. In that case, equality is
Oh,
stop
nice little
hitting
fight
people.
here between Roxy and Zoe.
All the people.
Or Robo-Roxy.
Don't hit any of the people. But in terms of being portrayed as an evil CEO, yeah, that could be anyone.
Oof.
You can substitute soup for salad.
Wow, this is
Oh,
choppy.
no, I get the salad. I never get the soup.
This is so choppy.
Because the soup
We're looking at a great fight scene, and it's so choppy.
it kind of makes it a little bit less of a great fight scene, unfortunately. Also, I'm pretty sure Roxy's purple is clipping curls, but it looks like Blaze's is actually dyed. I don't know if they're using a temporary dye or what.
I think it must be.
Right, because they have to be able to swap him back and forth.
Oh, they just realized. Robots.
Actually, both robots.
And that's not all.
New morph forms.
Splash, Violet and Amber are this year's fashion colors.
Oh, violet and amber.
To develop it from yellow. Yeah, we're coming through choppy on their end, too.
Yeah.
It could be our internet.
Yeah.
Could be that Spectrum is just still reaching out from beyond the grave to hurt us.
Also possible. But yeah, it's great that they're using the alternate enter form now. Oh, those cheetah claws are still things. Even though we don't have Fury mode, we can still use the cheetah claws.
Nice. I mean, they were in development separately.
Yeah. Ooh.
She's got Gog and Magog now.
I feel like she did before.
Oh, she had one gun before.
I think
She's dual wielding now.
I think she's occasionally dual wielding. She just didn't do it very often. Oh, the
Oh,
Ultra Blaster.
no.
Yeah, that
This
new
thing is not done yet.
Let's
Last
see
we
if it's-
saw it had really bad aim and was just like indiscriminately firing
Let's see how it is
everywhere.
now.
I mean, there is an awful lot of stuff that needs to be blown up right now. So
Oh, that works fine.
That works for you need to blow up a whole lot of stuff. Yes.
Oh, Enetron.
Don't steal Enetron!
Good
And
job,
we're teleporting
Strazzle.
out.
Those Blaze and Roxy bots were a distraction.
Yeah, they were. Oh, Joseph's birthday's coming up soon.
Oh, you know what I just realized might be a thing? I wonder if they're just gonna... If they actually destroyed the Blaze and Roxy bots, but they could just keep reproducing
Pumping
them.
out new ones? Entirely possible.
Oh wow, we've got the, we're going for the Morph-X Ultrazord. It's the first time we've seen that since the finale.
It's nearing the Morph-X tower. This won't take long.
If you can no longer walk properly, that's the word I don't like.
It's got the roller skates.
Not my bag.
Well, they're going pretty quick on this one. That was a very fast sword battle. They literally just rolled out, kept rolling, and then, like, by the time they stopped, they had destroyed the boss. They had destroyed the Gigatron.
Rangers destroyed us.
Like I said.
How are we back? Explain.
If you somehow get destroyed, this machine can download you into fresh robot bodies.
Oh, I like
They can respawn now.
So do I. My master plan cannot be stopped. The morphin crate will be mine.
All done already?
Yep, that's right. The beach is as clean as a whistle.
This is feeling like a suitable season 2 now in
And
proper.
you're deglued.
Yep.
You know, we should all make a little less trash.
Agreed.
I recently purchased a few
Oh.
little Rubbermaid containers
Oh, they're still sticky.
so that I can buy the big tub of cottage cheese that's easily recyclable and not buy little cups of cottage cheese
Yeah.
and take them to work.
Oh, their wrist. Do their wrist comms end up in the trash?
Yeah.
Oh, his wrist comm.
To the trailer. Somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Just pick up each bag and listen to it. You only have to open one of them.
Oh, and now it's driving away.
I'm bored.
And okay,
No way.
that was silly.
They made robots.
Yeah, they made Robot You. See, she has
That is a little creepy.
substantially less hair volume here. Her purple are definitely clip-in extensions.
Yes, yes.
Hey, guys, come on.
Yeah, and I feel like his
Oh, we're gonna go see the sea
his
turtle.
highlights
He's
are more
doing
like
better
frosted
now.
tips.
Even though, like, he totally wasn't doing so bad before because you'd never heard a sea turtle like that. This is a legitimate sea turtle, by the way.
It is. It's great that they actually got to film at this like legit aquarium.
And it looks like, you know, because they didn't want to hurt the sea turtle, all they did was sort of like lay some stuff on the top of his shell.
Back in the sea.
Oh, this one was
Thank you
written
so
by
much
Becca
for
Nowman.
showing me that we are all responsible for protecting the environment.
This is very wholesome.
It's totally wholesome.
This
You
is-
know they went sea turtles
But I'll see you
because
bright and early tomorrow morning.
it's the thing right now. It's mimetic.
Everybody
Remember how,
loves
like,
sea
back in the
turtles.
day, everybody was like, you have to save the environment because of the polar bears?
And to you.
Yeah, this.
But
this
then that
Gen
didn't work.
Gen Z wants to save the environment for the sea turtles.
Prior to the polar bears, we had the whales.
That's also, pardon me. That's also why the plastic straw ban. And the plastic bag ban, which goes into effect here in New York State tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Don't forget your bags.
But yes, that was a very wholesome episode that I really wish we could have watched more cleanly. Very disappointed with Philo at the moment. It's not making a great first impression.
Joseph Z. Cat's getting a biodegradable filament for his 3D printer,
Oh, nice. That's cool.
so that whatever he prints isn't bad for the sea turtles. When Chris Taylor watched the Red Ranger Blaze fight from season 1, the subtitles say "Transport Santa Claus" instead of "Transport Cheetah Claus."
That's fun. So
We
yeah,
spoiled ourselves? How did we spoil ourselves?
I'm not sure what we did. Maybe when we predicted that they could respawn, or
Yeah, those are all raw predictions.
we did some raw predictions.
Live reactions remains completely unspoiled live reactions.
Or at the least as unspoiled as possible. I knew some stuff was coming. I knew
I knew nothing.
Robo-Blaze and Robo-Roxy were going to be a thing because
And paper straws don't work particularly
I'd seen the
well.
trailer for the season.
They were okay.
And I'd seen that the toys were coming out. Those were the things that I really knew.
When we were in Disney over the summer, Disney only has paper straws now.
Actually, more specifically, I knew that from the toys that Robo-Blaze was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw they were going to be using the Enter Unite form from Go Busters. But I didn't know that for certain that the new Roxy was going to also be Robo-Roxy. Primarily because I didn't have the context for if Robo-Blaze was supposed to be a different kind of character or what. But I do like this approach with the respawning baddies.
And for the points in the opposite direction, while our evil CEO is portrayed as a woman, the head of Sea Creature Protection is a man. When usually, you know, the gung-ho environmentalist character is usually a woman. So progressive on both parts.
A little bit.
Thank you for pointing that out, Dustin.
But I did find it kind of funny that in an episode with an actress from Power Rangers Dino Thunder, they chose to name the Doctor character Dr. Walsh, which I find funny because Dr. Walsh was the name of the doctor who tended to Tommy when he was in his coma in Fighting Spirit during Dino Thunder.
I did not remember that.
I wouldn't expect really anyone to remember that.
Except for you.
Um,
Hey, Jake, what's Tommy Oliver's license plate number?
472 TJX, I believe. Something like that.
Joseph, you're going to Disney this summer vacation.
Maybe it was
I
TJX 472.
highly recommend
One of
Galaxy's
those.
Edge if you have not been there yet.
Yeah.
Even if you just walk around.
But yeah, it's cute. It was cute that, like, you know, the Rangers are like, oh, there's an environmental crisis. Let's go down there right now. And it's like, oh, that's so wholesome. That is like what people should like do, but doesn't generally actually usually happen in day-to-day life.
I mean, obviously in this particular case, the environmental crisis in question was local to them.
Yeah,
They
and
didn't have to travel for hours and hours. But that's the thing, is everybody takes care of environmental crises in their own area.
yeah.
They were covered.
Sort of a, you know, amusing coincidence of the, you know, standard, oh, we're talking about the thing and now the thing is on TV with them discussing Collins Industries. But yeah, it looks like once again we are, they are continuing to play this sort of longer game with the reveal of Evox's new body, even though it was obvious from the end of
We knew
last
that.
season.
But the Power Rangers don't know that.
Yeah. But also they have not actually properly revealed it to the audience yet. We didn't see the face of his new body. We only saw him
Oh, that's
walking
true.
around in a suit, but he transformed before we could see
I
his
mean,
face.
my brain just filled in, oh yeah, that's definitely the mayor, even though we
Exactly.
didn't see his face, because of the end of last season. I think most of us can make that supposition.
Yeah, it's a reasonable expectation.
I am, speaking of suppositions, pretty surprised that Roxy still has a job. Even if
Yeah.
she did, in the end, choose to save the sea creatures, that was still a very fireable offense.
But that said,
You convince your boss, okay? It's better if you go, hey boss, look at this sea turtle's eyes.
but that said, nepotism for the win in this particular case.
Yeah, I guess that would be one of the, you can't lose your job because it's your aunt.
Yeah. I thought that she was attempting to pull a PR power move on there. In different meaning of the word than you usually.
Not Power Rangers, but public relations. Once she's agreed to it, clearly they can't back out, right?
Yeah,
They'll look terrible.
Which is exactly what Wes did in Parting of Ways back in Time Force, when he got his dad to donate that money to the kids.
Gotcha.
Because he announced it in front of a bunch of reporters.
Hi, Floofy one.
After first stealing
You
the
want to come
money.
up here?
Like that whole episode was a serious. That was a whole serious power move on Wes's part in that episode, where
I was just double checking his bum.
where he first like went, oh no guys, wait, I gotta fix this check. Then he steals the money, saves the kids, steals the money, takes it down for ransom, saves the kids, brings the money back, and then in front of reporters gets his dad to give away the money. Like, and then he's like, oh, by the way, I'm moving out. It's like, wait, whoa. Like, it's like, Mr. Collins was so blindsided in that episode in so many ways.
He totally was.
And Regina Collins in this episode got a little blindsided too. But
Mostly by the soulful stare of the sea turtle.
Who doesn't just melt when you see a sea turtle? You can't. You can't do. But one of the things
You know
that
there's
was
sea turtles in Minecraft now?
one of the things that was a little interesting in this was the depiction of, to an extent, the corporate delusion, which is I believe
There's
a real life phenomenon.
Animals get sick all the time. You don't know that it had anything to do with our trash spill.
The climate is always changing. You can't say that we're behind it.
life isn't substantially more affected by pollution than any other creature because it has a tendency to mistake plastic bags for jellyfish and try to eat them?
I mean, plants breathe carbon dioxide, so more fossil fuels are really good when you think about it. Like, those are all the sort of justifications that they need to present themselves with in order to continue taking the actions that they do in the name of maintaining a profitable company. And very often it's not out of a genuine malice.
Denial. It's not just a river in Egypt.
Yeah, it's they convince themselves that what they're doing is necessary.
People convince themselves of all kinds of stupid things. I mean, the frogs, babe. The frogs.
I know. Now, that being said, it is going to be very rare that somebody is actually swayed against something that they have gone through so much trouble to convince themselves of.
That quickly, even
that was a very idealized kind of solution where, maybe if they could just
usually
realize
people who've deluded themselves that fully have a what they did not take into account here was the sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sunk cost once you have convinced yourself of something like that. You're not likely to unconvince yourself because at that point, if you look back on all of your previous actions, you're gonna feel terrible.
Yes.
And nobody wants to feel terrible. They'd much rather continue believing that it wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't us.
Now, that being said, I will give it a little bit of this where, to an extent, there was already a different kind of sunk cost because of Roxy's actions.
Yes.
Because she had already committed them to the investment.
The West situation, like you said.
She, to an extent,
She
had that
PR.
extra point where she's like, she was in a vulnerable position to be convinced.
Cynically, one could say that she took a look in the sea turtle's eyes.
Yeah.
Realized that if somebody put the sea turtle on TV with a little bit of Arms of the Angels on it, her company was in trouble, and then just went, oh, of course I love sea turtles, and turned on the charm.
Yeah.
So maybe she wasn't actually swayed by the sea turtle.
I'm curious to see if we'll see any more of Aunt Regina moving forward. It was great to see Miriam Smith again after so many years.
The Cageroid from Go Busters was formed from a bug cage.
Oh, it was a bug cage, not a bird cage. That is correct. My mistake. I translated into bird cage in my head, but yeah, I did.
What, was it one of those cricket cages or something?
Yeah, it was like a cricket cage. I did like the.
That way or that way, okay?
Oh, he's sweet. But that was.
Not in front and blocking the view of the people who are trying to talk to the camera. Okay.
I felt like that was a decent choice of a monster in this case because they used it effectively for trapping Blaze and Roxy for the purposes of scanning them. But that was more of a monster-heavy kind of episode in the original, where it had the ability to create false walls, so it kept them actually trapped in an office building. There was like a whole labyrinth aspect to it, where they had to feel through the walls to determine which walls were real and which walls were false.
Okay, so the real walls were real. The false walls were insubstantial.
Yes, they were like hologram walls.
Gotcha. I rubbed the elf on the wall.
I don't know that reference.
It's not exactly a reference to anything in particular. It's a Dungeons and Dragons thing. Elves have they have like a +2 to detecting hidden doors.
Oh, okay.
So if you're looking for a hidden door and you're not an elf, I rubbed the elf on the wall.
That's fun.
People getting deleted?
Diluted.
Oh, diluted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have drank the dang Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Because of I think somebody knows exactly what I meant about frogs.
That's one of the very frustrating things about a lot of aspects of society right now, which is that
now Blaze can yell droids and not just tronics.
It is very... People do not tend to engage in actual self-reflection that generally leads to changes in behavior.
Well, no, because one will try to self-reflect, and then one will start self-reflecting in a way and start considering the possibility that they were wrong, and that's uncomfortable, so you naturally move away from it.
And that's usually what tends to lead towards, like, those YouTube rabbit holes, where you tend to watch, to seek out others to prove no, I must have been right? Maybe somebody else says that I'm right.
I am absolutely a fan of my own YouTube rabbit hole. I mean, I gotta say, it's like, there's
an appeal
to watching videos
that
where
reaffirm
somebody
your beliefs.
reaffirms that you're right and other people are wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, Jake, you know that I watch that stuff. You used to say that I watched it because usually the ones that I watch are pointing out someone who's wrong.
Yes.
That I was watching it to be angry at the people who are wrong, but really I'm watching them because I enjoy
the feeling of
superiority.
Well, it's sort of like the trash TV kind of thing. That's a lot of...
You mean like when you watch Jerry Springer and be all like, I'm glad my life's not that messed up?
Yeah, like when people watch Jerry Springer or Dr. Phil or what have you, or any of those, like, I don't know, Honey Honey Boo Boo, all that business, a lot of times it's to see people who have messed up lives so that you can obtain a feeling of superiority.
Schadenfreude.
People enjoy feeling like they are in the right. And they will hold to that.
I mean, I do the same thing.
Like,
You don't do the same thing, but that's because you don't watch a lot of YouTube.
Or at the very least, I tend not to watch that kind of YouTube.
Okay, the kind of YouTube you watch is bootlegs.
Not really.
No?
No. Like, I'll watch, like,
Okay, well,
I tend to watch, like, Colbert and stuff.
I was going to say, they're not necessarily bootlegs.
And, like,
but they are
movie lists and trailers.
The upload, in the case of Colbert, they are actual television that's been transposed onto YouTube.
Yes.
So
which
that's
by the company, so it's not even a bootleg.
That's what I'm saying. It's not really a bootleg. Bootleg is the wrong term. You like to watch things on YouTube that are not necessarily native to YouTube.
Fair.
You like to watch television on YouTube on the channels
I'll watch reviewers, and I'll watch, like, countdown lists and things like that. I do watch...
You watch a lot of Colbert.
I do like to watch Colbert.
And sometimes The Last Week and stuff from Comedy Central. Basically, a lot of network...
basically, everything that's spun off from The Daily Show I tend to enjoy. Because it makes... Honestly, just having that dose of humor to sort of allow you to process the painfulness of the news is one of the ways that makes it palatable.
I don't think we're having the Evox card arc either.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're doing that.
I feel like we would have had a hint of it by now after 2 episodes. Like, after the first episode, it still could have been a thing, but after the second episode, without so much as a hint, I think you're right.
I don't know about that, actually. I will take a step back on that, because...
Okay, you think it still might happen.
I don't know if it will happen or not. It could. Because it's one of those things where it wouldn't need to take up the entire season.
See you next time.
Have a good night, Chris. It wouldn't need to take up the entire season. Like, the Messiah cards from Go Busters, that was maybe a 15-episode arc. When you get right down to it.
Fair enough.
Because the original destruction of Messiah in Go Busters was not right at the midpoint.
No, it was closer to the end.
Perfect case right here. The monster that we had in this one was from before Messiah had a body.
Yep.
So we are probably going to keep seeing footage from different points in the series. And we haven't seen anything from that point yet. We also still haven't gotten Powered Custom yet either, which was the introduction that kicked off that card sequence.
That's in the credits, so we are getting it.
Yeah.
We are getting Powered Custom at some point.
So it's possible we might still have that card thing. That might be something that we have following whatever reveal we get with regards to Mayor Daniels being Evox right now.
Yes.
Because Scrozzle did point out the current body is unstable, and he could end up revealing his identity at any time if he's not careful.
I worry for Mayor Daniels as well.
And that explains also why Mayor Daniels has been keeping his distance from Devon. He doesn't have the stability of form to maintain it.
And is Mayor Daniels going to come out of this okay?
I don't know, but it would be interesting if the card arc ended up, if they do the card arc, if that could be something that Evox then is utilizing following the reveal of himself as Mayor Daniels.
Devious Rage got to meet Walter Jones and David Yost, and he says they're both really humble guys.
They are. They're cool dudes. They handle things well. I know that David Yost really avoided the convention circuit for a long time, but I'm glad that he's embraced it.
Considering how he left the series...
Yeah, you can't blame him.
I can't blame him at all.
But I'm glad that he's in a place now where he's willing and happy to interact with the fandom in that way.
Night, Astamona.
Have a good night.
Yeah, I mean, the production, the people that he worked with were not nice to him. They were very mean.
Not.
But I'm glad he's in this too, because now he gets to see the people who really do like him and love him.
Yeah.
Because the fans, we love him.
Yeah. Honestly,
we don't care about the sort of things that the
oh yeah, exactly.
that the people were picking on him about. We're not like that.
But yeah, as far as like other things I like to watch on YouTube. I do like to watch,
I know you like to watch the Screen Rant's top 10s.
Cinefix. I've been watching those lately,
10s.
just because they highlight some really interesting films. But also obviously I was into Channel Awesome before Channel Awesome imploded. I still watch Linkara and Browse Held High.
And Lindsay Ellis.
Those were probably the three strongest to come out of that. We've been watching a fair bit of Renegade Cut as well.
Kyle Kalgren.
Kyle Kalgren is
he has a new video.
Always been. Yeah, I want to check out his new video. He was a big inspiration for Power Reviews.
Oh, we also both really like.
We've been liking Renegade Cut a lot lately.
And
Philosophy 2.
Philosophy 2.
Philosophy 2's been doing some really creative stuff with his work lately.
His recent work called Data.
Yeah.
I heavily recommend.
Yeah, he's been doing creative little almost morality plays centered around different philosophical topics of discussion. I like that creative execution of topic.
But that's very different to the kind of stuff that I was talking about that I watch. Stuff like Miles Power.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You like to watch those other kinds of things, which I don't like. I don't like the takedown stuff on YouTube.
It all started for me back in the day.
Yeah. Before
YouTube even.
Yeah.
Reading a regular article from, I think it was, I forget what it was, a British newspaper.
Yeah.
By a columnist called Ben Goldacre.
Okay.
It was called Bad Science.
Oh, okay. You enjoy Schadenfreude a lot more than I do, in general.
Well, what I'm saying is it's not necessarily Schadenfreude in my case, because I'm not happy about the stuff about people having bad lives. I'm happy that somebody else is also going, no, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because sometimes we live in a world where an awful lot of people can believe things that are completely false, and you start to feel a little like people who think there's something wrong with being like David Yost. They're all very wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a wonderful guy.
I always tend to just whenever somebody complains about Power Rangers becoming all social justice warrior, I'm like, that's what the show has always been. It's always been about acceptance. It's always been about a diversity in its characters, and it's always had diverse people working on it.
I mean,
who have not always been treated the way they should be, the way the show preaches.
No.
And I always want to see the show embracing the things that it's trying to present.
Living the lessons that it puts forth as its Aesops.
Yeah.
Like the episode they had with the deaf girl, who was immune to the monster because
and that was very early in the series.
That's why that's the one that came to mind for me just now.
Those sorts of episodes. Those sorts of episodes just don't come along anymore, and it's unfortunate because it wasn't very
How
endearing
was Sonic the Hedgehog?
aspect of the early series.
Especially after they redid it.
Oh,
Somebody said they went to go see.
I have heard that that was way funnier than people anticipated.
When will there ever be a homeschooled Power Ranger? I don't know,
know.
but I would love to see one.
It's an interesting situation. I know I have some students at my high school who were homeschooled up until they got into the program that my high school runs.
Jake's in like a magnet school kind of thing. It's not it's not a regular school.
It's a school that has a program alongside the local community college so that students can get their associate's degrees at the same time they get their diplomas.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was just being deliberately vague. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it's the same as that. It's just like, it's not like a bog standard high school.
But
so
because
it's definitely a kind of place where you might want to go if you were previously homeschooled.
Yeah. So I do have a number of students who grew up homeschooled and are sensitive about being different in that way and not having had the same experiences as everyone else and having been socialized the same way as everyone else. It can be a sensitive topic.
And that's all the more reason that it would be great to have a homeschooled ranger. Especially if we're dealing with school-aged kids. Like, if we had another high school set of rangers and one of them didn't actually go to the high school because they were being homeschooled, that would be pretty cool. Like, they'd have to, I don't know, all meet up at the library after school because that's where they could meet the homeschooled kid because he wasn't at the school.
Yeah. Having that diversity of experience.
Operation Overdrive.
What about Operation?
Somebody asked what PROO stood for. I believe Power Rangers Operation Overdrive.
Yes. People have been bringing up that Samuel Benta made a video recently that he's disavowing the claim that he was the one who took that banner from the first Power.
He protests his innocence in the theft of the banner.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised that he does, but I also
don't know if it's true or not.
I don't have any reason to believe that that's the case over the other people who have reported that he took it. Just because I've communicated with the people who are on staff and they've all told me the same thing.
I mean, you weren't on staff that first year, but you have been on staff subsequently. And
yeah. And I would expect that he would deny knowledge of it. I mean, it is possible that...
I mean, there's always the possibility of a frame job, but the thing of it is kind of he said, she said at this point, or he said, he said, he said, he said.
It's one of those things where it was so long ago now that it's hard to tell exactly what happened unless he kept the banner afterwards, which he may or may not have. I don't know. I don't have access to his phone.
At this point, it is alleged. Nothing was ever... There were no criminal charges ever made. Nobody was ever convicted in a court of law.
We know that there were reports that he took it. It is possible that he may have been informed that he wasn't allowed to take it and then left it and then somebody else took it. That's possible.
We haven't watched the video, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't had that much interest in actually watching it. Because I feel like
making the homeschooled ranger a sixth ranger would work very well.
It'd be a change up from
that would explain why they joined the team late or whatever. Because maybe whatever happened originally happened at a school function or something.
And I mean, we have had seasons where like the core team all goes to high school together, and then the sixth ranger doesn't. It would just be nice if it was a more relatable reason than being an alien from another world that had been destroyed by the alien menace.
Yeah. Homeschool is much more relatable than Alien Menace.
So all that said, I think we are kind of winding down. I think this is... I do like this episode sparked a lot of good discussion, though. It is important that people try to actually be open to the possibility of being wrong.
Although, I've just had a thought.
Yes?
What do you think the chances are that Nate went to a public school?
I don't think so. He was...
He might not be being homeschooled right now, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, and I would consider it a perfectly valid headcanon for someone to claim Nate as a former homeschooler.
There could be an argument for...
graduated. K doesn't count. First of all, not a ranger.
Bunker was her home, basically.
No, she was kidnapped. That's different.
True. That's true.
That is so different.
How would I adapt Tokuger?
Just because they were saying 6th Ranger, and then I was thinking, what about a 4th Ranger and a 3 Ranger team? And then I was like, wait! We've got one of those!
I do have some ideas on how I would choose to adapt Tokuger. The main thing that I would, just, because I know I've made mention of different ideas I've had for different seasons. I would lean a little bit into a sliders concept. I will tell you that much.
Does the train take them to different dimensions?
I think that could be fun. And explain away some of the weirder aspects of the series.
It is a little bit weird.
Because there are some weird visuals in that series.
Yeah, if Dr. K was... I still don't think Dr. K would count. She was kidnapped, and that was a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But as far as we know, Nate is still in the cusp... Well, not necessarily... He could be slightly adult now. But the point of the matter is, he was never kidnapped or taken anywhere into an evil government think tank or anything. So Nate would be a much better example.
Yeah, but no form
Plus,
of...
he's well better... He's
better
a little
adjusted.
awkward, but he's... Yeah, better adjusted. Whereas I don't know if anyone would really want to claim Kay for homeschool ambassador.
You know who?
She's a little bit...
You know who I bet actually was a homeschooled ranger? Who I would believe was a homeschooled ranger?
Mm-hmm.
Cam from Ninja Storm.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
He basically lived at the ninja school, which is not the same as a traditional school.
No.
His father was a ninja master, and he, as far as I could tell, that was where he grew up. We never really explored...
Nate was definitely gifted, but that would be like a reason to homeschool.
We never explored anything beyond that.
Are homeschooled because sometimes, it's their parents just going to do a better job in the schools. Sometimes they have special needs, and sometimes they're more advanced than the schools can handle.
Yeah. So yeah, all that said, I do think that one of the really good message to take away from this episode, even if it was a bit ham-handed and I'm clearly emotionally swayed by sea turtles, it is important to open yourself to the possibility of being wrong. If presented with a clear argument that, yes, this is the situation, you need to be willing to acknowledge that. It's something that I will admit I sometimes struggle with. I do always try to leave myself open to the possibility I'm wrong.
How do we know that Nate wasn't kidnapped? Well, I mean, he is in contact with his parents.
If somebody corrects me or provides me with counter evidence to my assumptions, I will generally step that back. I think that, especially this year, with so much going on politically in the United States, a lot of people do need to open up the possibility of being wrong. If you had certain assumptions with regards to the previous election, and you feel like you still need to commit to those previous assumptions, I definitely recommend trying to look at things more objectively and being open to the idea that you could have been wrong rather than doubling down. Because if you were wrong, then this would mean that there has been damage being done. And if you were to double down rather than acknowledge that error, then you would be doubling down on seeing further damage.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Either way, and because the way you're framing it is definitely making it clear that you
I know.
are talking about one particular side.
Yes.
Here's the thing. If you're right, then opening your mind to the fact that you might be wrong won't cause you to come to the conclusion that you're wrong. So there's no harm in trying it out.
Right.
So that means that everybody on both sides can do that, because if you're right, you're still going to be right afterwards. And if you were wrong, you might learn something.
Yeah.
And, people can come from different environments and be doing things for different reasons.
And there could be a lot of... here's something I think connects well with this episode.
Okay, yeah, let's bring it back to Power Rangers.
With the way that Regina was behaving with regards to the sea turtles, saying, oh, we have no idea if we actually caused this damage, and we can't really hold ourselves accountable for that.
But then they saw a sea turtle that was choking on garbage, and then she knew. And
that aligns with, basically, sometimes it's easy to brush other people off as being alarmist. And sometimes they may be, and sometimes they may not be. Sometimes they may have good reasons for being alarmed by something. and other times it may be that they are being misled.
And sometimes they may have wrong reasons for being alarmed and still be correct, especially if their name is Steel.
This is also true.
And they're making an Alex Jones
yes.
pinboard. Oh, what's that guy from the
Charlie
Day
Charlie
pinboard
from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Because
Night, Chris.
Have a good night, Chris. Because there are certain things where people might be alarmed about, like different kinds of people coming into an existing society and things like that, and that could be something that some people might be alarmed by. That once they learn more about those people, they might realize, oh, they're just people. It's not something.
Just brings us back to David Yost.
Exactly.
Some people are different, and that's okay.
So there are plenty of cases of being alarmed by people who are just different. And then there might be other cases where it's like, oh, it can't possibly be that bad. Oh, you're probably just overreacting. And then you learn actual
the sea turtles are actually
measurable statistics, and you realize, oh, this is actually happening.
Oh boy, measurable statistics. You would know about measurable statistics.
I know.
I used to teach statistics.
As a math teacher.
Numbers make me glaze over.
This is fair. So that's...
This should have been a crossover with Wild Force.
So that's why I'm like, you should leave yourself open to the idea of being wrong and try to look to what is the measurable damage that is occurring.
Or, just...
And then try and do what you can to help where you can.
People who are different aren't evil.
Yep.
People who are different, kind of just like you.
Yep. And they can sometimes make mistakes, just like anyone else.
Yep.
So, yeah, we got very,
You got political.
We got just a little bit. I tried to keep it in broad terms. Because I don't want to shame people for choices they have made. I just want them to be able to recognize if choices they've made have caused damage, and then be able to adjust their choices moving forward. That's what I want to see people do.
All anyone can ever do is do that.
Yeah.
You can't change the past. We're not the Time Force Rangers.
I won't judge you unless you have done damage and then choose to continue to do damage.
I'll judge people who do damage if they do it directly. Indirect damage, I can see that you might be able to rationalize it, but if you're like, I don't know, actually being the guy who...
Like, if Regina had looked into the eyes of that sea turtle and is like,
I'm going to stuff some more garbage down your throat!
You need to dump more garbage. Then yeah, I'm going to judge her. I'm going to be very judgmental on that.
There's a difference between direct and indirect, and we're mostly talking right here about indirect damage. I don't think any of our fans are the kind of people who would stuff garbage down the throat of a turtle on purpose.
Yes, exactly. Unless your name happens to be Oroku Saki, in which case, I didn't realize you were subscribing. So, I think that's
Who is that?
Who is Oroku Saki?
Yeah. Is the chat going to tell me now?
I hope so. I hope other people know who Oroku Saki is.
Who's Oroku Saki? Take care of nature, and nature will fight back in Godzilla.
Alright.
Splinter.
No, not Splinter.
Shredder?
There we go.
Oh, Shredder.
Splinter was Hamato Yoshi. In certain iterations. In other iterations, he was Hamato Yoshi's pet rat, which was the original version, but yeah. So yes, Oroku Saki is Shredder. So, all that said...
Shredder.
As we had established, I have been a fan of Ninja Turtles. I need to catch up more on Rise of Ninja Turtles now that we have a new outlet for watching Nickelodeon. That will hopefully find a way to iron out. So anyway, it has gotten quite late at this point. We've been chattering on for a while. I very much appreciate everyone who stuck with us. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful evening.
We haven't seen the new reboot of Ninja Turtles, sorry.
Oh, the current TV show. We've seen a few episodes.
Oh, you have seen a few episodes?
You have also seen a few episodes. That's the Wild and Wacky short episode kind of Ninja Turtles now.
I don't remember seeing it.
It's Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a cartoon. They have like 15-minute episodes. It's very exaggerated.
I have no recollection of this.
It was just like a year ago that it came out. Very wacky.
I was probably doing this.
We watched it together.
Did we? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I believe you. I just have no recollection of it.
Yeah, I'll show you at some point.
Great stream. Yep. Thank you.
All right.
And we will see. Yeah. Oh, yes. He definitely likes the crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yeah, I need to
Turtles.
get caught up on the comics. I've read like the first 2 issues. I still need to read issue 3, and I know issue 4 just. I don't know if it just came out.
And
or it's
honestly,
about to
I
come
have
out.
never in my life seen adding diverse characters derail plot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's not how it actually works.
Sorry, there's just a lovely thing in here about not adding diversity above storytelling, and if you were putting it above storytelling, that would be a problem. I've just never seen that happen. I've seen a lot of people afraid that would happen, but I've never seen it happen.
What I will sometimes see is people try to introduce a diverse character without the knowledge of that diverse background, and it comes across as inauthentic. That's a
thing.
That is a thing.
That's definitely a thing, but that's more tokenism than really.
Yeah. So, anyway, I know we tried to wrap up for like the last 10 minutes, so let's actually do it. They're going to keep doing that. Now, we're the ones in, this is our show.
Alright, this is our show. We're in control. The show is over.
So until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. Heroes on a half shell, PR power.